Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Crypto Scene Investigation, where we look at cryptocurrency projects and we ask ourselves, should we be investing in them? Today we're going to be looking at Onston. If you guys like what I do on this channel, please consider liking and subscribing, as well as commenting if you do enjoy the content which I do. Also, if you do wish to make any fan requests or anything, or maybe you want to become a part of my Discord community, you can choose to become an advocate or a supporter on my Patreon, which will be linked in the description. Cool, let's have a look at Onston. So this came up on my radar because over the last like 30 days or something, they've gone up like quite a lot. So let's have a look at what we can find about them. They have a market cap of currently 11 million. Price has just continuously gone down. So that's a good time. People say scam, people say good project, do research, people. So who are Onston? Let's just get a brief overview of exactly who they are. So according to this, it says Onston is a link that integrates or expands all members of the Metaverse community. Onston team will build a Metaverse to multi-Metaverse to integrate various Metaverse. So in terms of how they're going to do this or how it's actually going to look, so they'll be adding things such as VR, AR, and facial recognition technology, and a whole bunch of other stuff. Now, here are some interesting things to look at. So first of all, let's have a look at what sort of exchanges they're on. They're on some pretty big names. Gate.io, Huobi, Global, and KuCoin. 2 out of 3 of those I do have listed in my bio as well, if you wish to jump onto that train. So according to that, they definitely already come under a tier 7. So good job, team. You guys have gotten yourselves as a part of something very, very decent. Also, watch your eyes. This is their medium. So it's kind of cool how they keep on updating their medium. The YouTube channel is not great though. So yeah, they definitely have got a bunch of stuff going on there. And on the YouTube channel, so it's very, very, very fresh. So I don't want to kind of jump into, the game and roast these guys. I mean, they said that that this channel's only been around since like April the 13th. So if you do jump onto their Twitter though, you can actually see a bunch of other things which they have done. So I mean, this is one of the pictures in terms of the cool multi-metaverse. So that's one picture. I believe that they do have others. This is another one as well. So yeah, so we're seeing more pictures than we are gameplay, which may not necessarily be a bad thing for now. But yeah, so I mean, when I look at this, I sort of think of, if you guys know, I think it's called No Limits Roller Coaster Simulator, No Limits Coaster Simulator or something. So that's sort of what I think of when I see this jazz here. So I do sort of wonder what they're going to be doing as a kind of full-fledged metaverse. They are also on a bunch of different chains, so they're on Ethereum, Polygon, and Avalanche, and there's a few concerning things which I've seen regarding this. So this right here, dude, pretty much every single wallet above the top 8 is unlocked. This means, so if we are to actually do a bit of the quick maths here, you can see that there's probably like over 30% that's kind of chilling. Nah, that's definitely over 30 because 5, so that's 10, 20, 30. That's, yeah, so this is most likely over like 50%, which is just a bad time if you guys do want to jump on board with this. Now, they are also on AVAX / Snowtrace. Didn't realize that AVAX actually had like a slick looking kind of scan like this, so look at that, eh? But as you can see, another one, 97%, but keep in mind that the quantity is very different. So both AVAX and they are also on Polygon as well. Both of them have, even though they have one wallet which contains a ginormous amount, and they can only actually have a total supply of 500 mil, according to something like on the sort of main Ether, on the main Ether contract, 5 mil is like around here, so 0.5%. So it's nothing compared to some of these big boys here. So we probably won't be focusing too heavily on that. Now, here is a bit of a weird thing. This is what, so both BSC Check and Token Sniffer Both of them say that it is not sellable according to the Ether contract, and Honeypot.is says that execution reverted, transfer helper, transfer from failed. So pretty much everything is saying that it is a honeypot, but the reason why I don't think it is a honeypot, okay? Here's why I don't think that, because first of all, it is on Huobi Global, Gate.io, and KuCoin. And the fact that it's on all these, and I think it's also on Albank and MEXC, just makes me think, no, like, this is not. So I have a theory behind this, okay? So this is my theory. My theory is that possibly the liquidity is something which maybe they just don't have a whole lot of liquidity when it comes to things like, as you can see, it's not on PancakeSwap. Like it's not on Uniswap from what we can see. So this says to me that these guys have gone straight for the big boys. They've decided to bypass Uniswap and PancakeSwap and decided to go straight for the big boys. So I personally think that it says that this is a false negative, in my opinion. Okay, so I think you shouldn't be worried about this being called a honeypot according to this. So I just want to confirm any sort of doubts, just so that you guys, in case you are concerned about that. So ownership has not been renounced, and as you can see, like top holders, like dev wallet warning. I mean, chunky supplies, man, chunky supplies. Yes. So then, if we have a look on Token Sniffer as well, similar thing. Ownership not being renounced, and another huge percentage of holders, although it says owner wallet contains less than 5% of the circulating token supply, even though the ownership has not been renounced. But according to Moonarch, they do have interesting functions which are check code of function ownable.renounce ownership. Although your boy doesn't quite know exactly what these things are, and if there's any devs, please do kind of comment in the comments. Then to me, this could potentially mean that they may either have done a false renounce. Well, I mean, sorry, they haven't been renounced, but they could be maybe finding some other way to be able to transfer those tokens. But when you have a look at all of these other things, these are literally unlocked wallets right here. Like, that's just like rug pull town central. But there could be reasons for why they've done it like this and why they haven't put them into smart contracts, and I will show you why as we continue looking. So according to the Polygon, I mean, this says detected address 97%, but we don't really need to worry about that too much. But just thought I would show you guys that briefly. There are also no other similar token contracts, which is pretty cool, but there are some other things to look at. So this is what it says regarding AVAX. So liquidity pool not found, which there is no liquidity pool, and then so similar thing which BSC check has said, but here is something which was interesting. I have not come across a project, and this is the first project I've actually come across for this YouTube channel, where the actual project itself, which we were looking at, has been flagged due to bug, hack, or scam, flagged by administrator. I have not seen any other project which has stated that other than this. But for some reason, so this token's audit score is 0 because it was flagged as a scam by the automated contract scanner, or the admin. So I'm not sure why. This one was actually flagged, but I mean, my theory, and this is just a theory, so this is purely focusing on the Poly one, is because it's like 97% there, and also because they probably wouldn't have a proper liquidity pool, so it should say that there's no liquidity or something like that. Yeah, so liquidity pool not found, right? So once again, I think that these are more than likely going to be false negatives in my point of view. So it says that the token age is 6 months old, so it says that it was done on the 30th of the 10th, 2021, and unfortunately Moonarch can only do, it doesn't have a poly section, which is interesting. I would have expected something like a poly section, but didn't see anything. So I mean, it does say we do have this little ERC20 dot underscore min function, but I mean, I think that's another false negative from my point of view. Yeah, so nothing here really stands out too heavily. I mean, release lock could possibly have something like something possibly concerning, but yeah, I can't really see anything which is too crazy concerning. And this is the AVAX one, so the AVAX token age is from the 15th of January. And once again, this one is also kind of like a bit average as well. It does have AVAX 200N_STON.mint, which could potentially mint the supply. They've also got a pauser function as well for whatever reason, so owner might be able to pause trading Honeypot risk. So that's a possible risk, and maybe this is something which maybe the token sniffer picked up when it came to Poly. So maybe they had looked at the actual token contract itself and seen something a bit suspicious, like we can see here. So only factory might contain a hidden owner check. I do feel like there's something in here which there might be like some sort of hidden owner thing overall, but that's just conjecture. That's not actually confirmed. So this is some of their Twitter stats here. As you can see, for some reason they went up ginormously on that Tuesday, on the 22nd of March. They went up hugely. Do not know why. But yeah, so over the last 30 days, they have received 224 followers, and they've also lost a bunch as well. So do not know what to think about that. Really mixed responses. I couldn't find any bot comments when I did actually look on their Twitter. For some reason, they actually have a deleted tweet, which was one of their promoted tweets. So this was their like promoted tweet here. As soon as I click onto it, it says, "Sorry, that tweet has been deleted." Do not know why. Also, something which triggered me, and I want to show you guys this. They say this, right? Poloniex is one of the most active exchanges. According to what metric? What metric are you going based off, champ? Like, have a look at this, dude. Poloniex, one of the most active exchanges. It comes up as number 21 now. Keep in mind that it is still pretty high compared to like some of the rest of the whole entire list out of like the few hundreds which we have here. But like saying that it is one of the most active exchanges is really a stretch, dude. That is really a stretch. Like, if they said it with Gate.io, makes sense. Huobi Global, makes sense. KuCoin, makes sense. But to say with, like, Poloniex, like, I mean, it's even, like, lower than MEXC, dude. Anyway, so that just kind of bugged me. It's just, yeah. But yeah, as I say, I didn't really see any sort of like, I guess, bot comments. As we can see over the past 12 months, according to the Google Trends as well, so this is people actually searching up the token, they have reached a 100 point by March 20th to the 26th. Over the last 90 days, what can we see? So one on February 18th and March 22nd, so it's been pretty much fluctuating over this whole entire time. Now, one reason why I don't think that we should be completely judging these guys as a fully fledged crypto project is because these guys are very, very early from what I can see. So I don't think that it would be very right to completely judge their whole entire thing because we have not completely seen the working product just yet, okay? We have not seen the full working product from these guys. So we can't say, yes, invest, no, don't invest because this and that. I mean, it could be very easy to be like, hey, don't invest because we haven't seen anything from them. But I mean, if I told you that I was starting a new channel called CSI and I hadn't made any videos yet, how do you know if the quality is going to be good, right? So yeah, so that's why I'm saying we shouldn't be judging them we should be trying to find out what we can find about them so far. So I'm just giving you guys some of the potential risks and all that other jazz. So token matrix, so they say that the total supply is 1 billion. This sort of talks about where everything is going. I'm not such a big fan of this neither. So I mean, like the fact that like most of the majority of these things, because these would be most of the unlocked wallets, right? So literally, like, I mean, that is these boys right here, right? So I think it's just too much, dude. Like, I think it's just way too much. So let me give you the brief overview of the positives and negatives of them doing it like this, okay? So they might not have enough money as a company, so they decided to actually have these wallets here as the main wallets to be able to pull from whenever they wanted to be able to receive things. However, I think that what they probably should have done would have actually set some sort of liquidity vesting and maybe gotten some extra venture capitalists to be able to actually fund in them, right? I mean, they say that these guys are all of their partners, right? If these guys are all of their partners, why in the world are these unlocked? Like, they must have money pouring out of their ears, dude. Like, that just triggers me. Yeah, and I mean, you've got guys who literally look like super, like, stand outish. So CEO of CTU Global Ltd, in-house professor of SK Telecom, SK Communications, and then you've also got this fellow here who's had a whole bunch of other things under his belt as well. So I think these guys are not chumps from what I can see. These guys are smart dudes. So if they're smart dudes, fix this. Put these into smart contracts. Be good about it. So this is their roadmap. It says 2020, but I imagine that this would more likely be 2021. Also, have a look at this little thing. It's like flashing. It literally tells us where we are at. How cool is that? I like that. We can see things which they've done on their roadmap, all the way to where we are currently at, and also things which they want to head into for the future as well. Upgrade development on Onston Metaverse. So for Q2 of 2022, Onston Metaverse platform 3D virtual world development. I don't know where it says the release. Metaverse platform first open. I can't see anything where it talks about the actual release, but it looks like they're going to be getting onto something as well. They've also got some advisors as well, and these exchanges, they're already a part of like some like familiar names, dude. Bittrex and Hotbit as another one. Also, something else which I do want to comment on, which I do really like, is the fact that they give us the option of both the Git book and the PDF. I think that's really cool. I like that. Thank you guys for that. So this is their white paper. I'm gonna be honest, when I saw this white paper, when I saw this, oh, look at that. Look at that. Give it like a 10, man. I'm gonna give that a 10 right now. Solid white paper, you get a 10 for that. Like, oh, like it's so sleek. The colors are wonderful. It's so aesthetic to look at. Like, I mean, it gives us the information. We have pictures in it. Like, we can see different like ways of like how you intend to work it regarding the marketplace and the metaverse. Oh, it's just absolutely tremendous. There is one problem I have though. There is one problem, and this is on both the Git book and this white paper. And my one problem is this: SNS. This phrase right here. This bugged the heck out of me. I couldn't find out what the heck SNS was, but apparently it stands for social networking system or something. Because I just had no idea what that was, and then I was trying to search everywhere and be like, what the heck, man? So I couldn't actually find that, and that was really bugging me. Yeah, but the thing which we will be looking at more is going to be focusing on the actual Git book itself. Because one thing which is good about a Git book, so if we actually have a look at the document properties, some modifiers, this was modified on March, and actually the Git book was also modified in March as well. But one thing about the Git book is that they should be able to continuously change and modify and access that to be able to give us maybe live feeds, for instance, which we will see very shortly. We won't look at the players just yet, but you can see some of this. So we've already had a look at the token distribution. They also have this thing, Guild DAO system. Another thing which bugs me is that they don't give us a definition of DAO, even though I know what a DAO is, like decentralized autonomous organization. The fact that they don't tell us that kind of bugs me, because I'm like, for those who don't know what a DAO is, like, that's irritating. Yeah, and from what I saw here, I can't really see anything which like really tells me like that this is a DAO. Yeah, so that bugged me because I feel like that's sort of using the wrong words. The roadmap, so this is the roadmap from the actual Git book itself. So as you can see, so they say 2022, 2023, 2024. Pretty much stuff which we've actually already seen from the roadmap as well, but it's just kind of cool to have it in this format as well. Keep in mind that I'm using a what is this thing called? It's like a dark background and light text option. So this is on the default thing. So it's actually very bright white, but I've done this because you guys like the dark mode. So this shows their milestone, and this is actually really cool. I really like this. I haven't seen a project which has actually implemented this into their white paper. So what they've actually done here is that they show us a Metaverse milestone, which to me shows that they can potentially go and tick off all of these different things and tell us what is actually available. So although they haven't ticked off anything yet, this also confirms the fact that we are very, very early if you do decide to invest in. But also it tells me that they have got the longer term plan in mind. Even though this is absolute trash right here, never invest unless they actually fix this funky jazz there and actually put up like proper vesting schedules. I mean, remember, no financial advice, guys. Do your own research. But on a serious note, yeah, just don't touch it because of that. Yeah. So other than this being bad, like it would be safish to invest in. So here we have Juan Sopli, who's the president of ALOS. Now here's something which irritates me, okay? This is something which does bug me. We'll jump to where the team is, right? So here's the team here. Only 3 guys have their LinkedIns. But you want to know something about their LinkedIns? One of them does not link to an actual page. I try to search this dude up manually, Kyung Chan Park, and could not find him. Could not find our homie. He does not exist. And the other guy, none of these dudes say that they actually work for Onston. Where's Onston? Cannot see it. Juan? Where is Onston? Cannot see it. It bugs me. It's annoying. Update your LinkedIn profiles. You know, you've been with the company for what, like 6 months since you went and released this like chain thing, or like released the tokens. So, jeez Louise, it's buggy as. So, anyway, guys, let's do this thing here. Functional and clean website / media. Yeah, their website is very functional, which is quite clean. Gives us a team which is good, doesn't give us all the team information, which is annoying, and it would be nice to have some vesting, but I'll give these guys about a 9 out of 10 for that because they did very well. Solid roadmap. The roadmap was pretty good. I do like the roadmap. I think that it would be, if I did have one suggestion to add, would be possibly maybe having ticks next to the things which have been completed on the roadmap as well. But I think that the Gitbook roadmap was very nice. Solid tokenomics and holder distribution. Going to give you guys about a 2 for that. That was bad. It's a bad time. The reason why I'm not giving them a 1, however, is because all I can think for how they could potentially fix this and change all of this up, just put these into vesting schedules, dude. Just put them into vesting schedules. That's all I'm asking. And the fact that they are still sitting at the original numbers, such as 15, 12, 10, like they've all got the 6-digit zeros, right? So I mean, the fact that, you know, they haven't been touched, nothing has happened with them, like that's also a bit positive. But yeah, I should probably bring them down to a 1, to be honest, but I'm gonna let these guys slide with the 2. Control V paid bot comments, do not see any. They're good. Yep, we already know number 7 with that. Although I feel like KuCoin's more of an 8 though, but I didn't put them as an 8. So Crypto.com and Gemini, yeah, they're more 8s. Is the team docs with LinkedIn? Like 4, 3. I'll give them a 4. Because we do actually see faces, we do see some LinkedIn. Actually, no, I'm going to drop it down to a 3 because it was pretty bad. Interviews and AMAs, because of how fresh they are, they haven't had any interviews or AMAs. So I'm going to put them as not applicable for the time being, because I feel like they haven't had enough time to actually give us a proper working product, to be able to have also time to be able to do an AMA as well. But it also feels like maybe they may be taking the time to work on this, because I feel like they should have probably had at least a little bit more by now, because other projects have done more within the time that these guys have had. Any relevant team experience? Yes and no. I'm gonna give them like a 4 for that, because yeah, it's iffy, dude. It's iffy. Like, I mean, if we actually go back, right, so we will actually see what sort of team experience they have actually had. So I mean, software engineer, yeah, that's all pretty good. He's the chief technology officer, but we didn't even have confirmation that these guys are actually working for Onston, dude. Like, that's irritating. So yeah, when you don't actually provide the information, then it just annoys everybody. So yeah. So I'll give them about a 4 because they still have experience. Sorry, I know that I'm closing and reopening, but they still do have some level of experience. So this fellow's been CTO, CEO, executive director, and president. But we don't know if this fellow has any connections. I mean, this kind of looks like a pretty fresh LinkedIn, and we didn't even have pictures for like where he's actually worked. So yeah, it's, yeah. I'm actually going to bring that down to a 3 because I'm pretty disappointed. Notable partnerships. Gosh, here's the edgy part. Are these guys actually partners? Am I partners with Windows because I'm using their computer? Am I partners with Google Sheets because I'm using this document? No. I'm not going to call them partners. I'll give them like a 6. I mean, Gate.io Labs, I'm just giving it based on that. Yeah, I mean, they have some big names, but are they actually partners? Debatable. So yeah, so that's kind of the rating. Very, very sort of mixed where we're currently at. I haven't gone and tried to confirm their partnerships neither, so if anybody does want to confirm these, you're very welcome to add that into the comment section. But yeah, so definitely sort of like a 3.5 star. So like they're sort of, they are a bit above average, but you know, there's just some things which kind of just need to be, yeah. So yeah, it's very early days with this project though. Very, very, very early days. So yeah, just bear that all in mind, okay? And that is our video. Guys, thank you very much for watching. I'm going to post this because, you know, we love the little kitten sometimes. If you guys do, once again, if you did enjoy this video, please do consider liking, subscribing, and sharing this video. Because we do want to try to educate people, and we want to be able to help them try to make good financial decisions. Even though no financial decisions are made, only for educational, entertainment, and inspirational purposes. Yes, and if you do wish to comment, please once again have a read of that little shebang down below, and I hope to see you guys on the next crypto scene investigation video. Much love, fare thee well, don't do anything I wouldn't do, be safe, and love thy neighbor as thyself.